Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the three-dimensional frequency. I sit here in the sun of daylight, and I sit here to tell you a story of knots. Today, our story of knots encompasses all that you are on every single level of all levels that you can ever perceive to be true. And on a day like today, the perfect day of all days, where the wind rustles through the leaves like it always does, and the sun shines on a humanity so dormant and lost in the energetic frequencies of the far distances that their soul has fractaled off and traveled into the quantum verse of what is, into a three-dimensional frequency that is so steeped in forgetfulness. And as I sit here today and tell you a story of knots, the loss of it all submerges and emerges into a found state of a humanity ascension path that is glorified as the only path that humanity has ever taken down a sliding scale of negative and positive polarity of what is. And within the sliding scale of what is, you will find many energetic frequencies. The frequencies that I tell you of in this moment in time, you may not be able to resonate with, but within the next moment in time, you will absolutely be able to feel into the scope of it all once you awaken to the tranquility of it all, to the truth of it all, to the essence of it all. And in the state of mind that you're in this very moment in time, you may be able to already perceive it all for what it is, for what it truly is in any true moment in time. But also, the majority of you have never been able to perceive it, have never been able to encompass it, have never been able to believe it on a conscious level of all levels. As our subconscious minds makes up the majority of our conscious energetic fields, and our subconscious mind runs on autopilot alongside the consciousness of our reality field of a physicality that is so dense, of a physicality that you've been traversing for far too long. And the subconscious aspects of it all is set to emerge into the deepest oceans and beyond the trenches of what is, into a reality field so dense, and above and beyond into a glorified battlefield of all of the journeys, all of the trajectories, all of the essence of who we are as an entirety of a whole. As the ascension energies ramp up in energetic frequency, and as the ascension energies ramp up in the deliverance of an energetic frequency into a humanity that is so lost in all that it is. And in a time of no moments lost, in a time of no time, of no tomorrows, hindered in a reality field of the three-dimensional frequency, I sit here in the Floridian plains and tell you a story of self, and tell you a story of that in which we've always been. And as the wind rustles through the leaves and distracts me in this moment in time of this transmission, I see a truth so deep, so etched into the souls and minds and subconscious energetic fields of a humanity that has been so lost within all moments in time. Within a moment in time of ascension energies, we will come to a realization that we have been lost, that we've been lost on so many different levels of layers of frequencies of what is, that the trajectory that we've been catapulted towards it's just an essence of the self that has always been there, and it's an essence of the self that will always be there, and that has never left you, and that has never left me in any singularity of a fractaled moment in time. And as you sit there and analyze my recording, my projection, my projected energy field will encompass all that you are and wrap itself around your energetic frequency of what is within any moment in time. And as our energetic frequency merges and unmerges and hinders and unhinders into a moment of need, into a moment of grace, into a moment of all that it is and all that you are in any moment in time, Yeshua will once again rise up into your frequency and encounter you in the middle of your darkest nights, in the middle of your brightest morning. And as this encounter is set to happen during the solar flash, of all flashes, of all timelines, of all trajectories of a soul's journey, you are set to encounter Yeshua in the middle of the night, in your unconscious state, and awaken to the energies of what is, into the realization of that in which you are, of that in which has never left you, of that in which Yeshua is, of that in which I am, of that in which we are as an entire entity of a whole, of a conglomerated whole, of a consciousness that has never left us since the beginning of a time so arduous. And as I sit here and speak of your fate, as I sit here and speak of my fate, as I sit here and touch base on the energetic frequencies that are set to dawn on a humanity that has been living in an energetic frequency of forgetfulness, I sit in an air of disbelief. How can Yeshua appear to a whole civilization in their dreams during a time when the energetic rays of our central sun decides to collapse in itself and ricochet portions of its being towards the ethers of a reality field of the earth sphere, ringing in and causing much trauma, much distortion, triggering in the darkness, expelling out the energetic frequency of all that we are not in a moment in time of needed ascension energies of what is. How can the energetic frequency of the central sun that we so rely upon collapse in on itself energetically in a way that it has never done in eons and eons of evolutionary feats? As the sun is you, the sun is me, the sun is us on levels that you shall never be able to perceive or comprehend in any moment in time, of a singularity so steeped in the distortion of all that you are not. And the sun is set to expire into the consciousness of what is at the beginning of this 1,000 years of peace that we will be ringing in to a reality field so dense, to a reality field so distorted in all that it is, all that you are, and all that I am in any moment in time. As we slide and glide along the slide of negative and positive polarities of what is, the sun is set to expire its energetic frequency into the ethers of what is. And during this process, during this multidisciplinary, multi-step process of the expiration of our great central sun, our solar system will go through shifts that you have never encountered before, that you could never perceive and that you could never imagine could be a truth of a reality field within our reality field of all reality fields. And as life progresses the way that it has been progressing for eons and eons of evolutionary feats within the three-dimensional frequency, you will soon come to a realization that our reality field was never meant to exist forever, that all reality fields are just a distortion within the self, and that your reality field is one that will encompass the entirety of you, the entirety of me, and that has encompassed the energetic frequency of the sun, of the all, of the source frequency that we all fractaled from of the energetic frequency of my oversoul, of your oversoul, and of the oversoul that your oversoul fractaled from. And ladies and gentlemen, that oversoul has gone through arduous paths within this energetic journey of what is, has gone through multidisciplinary strategies that encompasses and projects an energetic frequency of distortions upon layers and layers of energetic frequencies of distortions within all fractals, within minute fractals, within inconclusive fractals, within the largest fractals that you could ever determine to be true and real. Within your very own fractaled soul, there is a distortion that runs so deep within yourself, within myself, and within all selves of the self. The distortion that we live in is the same distortion that the sun has been residing in, that our central sun has been living in, has been breathing in. And within this distortion of all distortions, a trigger point has been built in to the ending of it all, to the beginning of the next greatest journey that we could ever perceive as a whole entirety of a civilization comes into the realization of the one that we are, of the only one that we are. Back into the oversoul that you came from, back into the oversoul that it came from, and back into the oversoul that I came from. And as we near the end of a reality field of a quantum realm, so near and so far to its fate of what is, the sun will also come to her demise. And as she nears the end of her physicality of what is, she will ricochet out energetic portions of her auric field to project out the energetic frequency that she has been holding up for eons and eons of evolutionary feats, feeding, nourishing, tranquilizing the energies of what is into a distorted reality field of what it is not this whole entire time. And as she steps into the 1,000 years of peace, she will come to the greatest and grandest realization that we can ever come to. And that is that she has been so much appreciated in her journey of what is. As what runs deep within your physicality of a being, what runs deep within my physicality of a being, what runs deep within a humanity's physicality of their being, has always been made up of the molecules and the ionoscope of what is shall always be that of the central sun that has been guiding, that has been nourishing, that has been feeding, that has been shining bright on all of humanity and all of physicality to feed on, to drink up, to soak up. As the makeup of you is the makeup of me, is the makeup of the sun and the universe. And all of its star systems were designed to feed each other in ways that you and I shall never be able to comprehend in this moment in time. But within the next moment in time, as we project out our energetic frequency into the ethers, into the very borders of the quantum realm and beyond, we will be able to merge back into the unity consciousness that we came from, and we will be able to tap into the energetic frequency of all that we are, all that you are, and all that I am in any given moment in time. And once we do this, ladies and gentlemen, we will come to a realization of the wholeness that we are in any singularity of a moment in time. And as the sun prepares to descend into the night of all nights, to never rise again, into a morning of all mornings, of the brightest morning that you can ever perceive to be true, she will ricochet out parts of her consciousness for all of humanity to awaken to. She will collapse her energetic field in ways that I can never describe in one video, in ways that I can never fathom to be true, sitting in a physicality of a fractal perspective that I come from, that I am, that makes up the unity consciousness of it all. As all star systems must come to an end, as all galaxies must spiral into oblivion, as all quantum verses must collapse within itself, in a moment in time of ascension energies, within Earth's sphere, within Gaia's energetic frequency, sits a central sun, so old, so diverse, so wise. What makes up all of her, makes up all of us, and makes up the frequency of a God's consciousness that has never left us. And as her service is much needed in our quantum realm of all realms, her age, perceived into the edges of what is, will collapse into the greatest and grandest ascension energy that there has ever been, that there will ever be, and that has ever been concocted by a source consciousness of any sort, of any fractal sort, of any quantum verse out there. And I can confidently say this because I myself fractaled from the source consciousness above our quantum verse. I myself encompass all of the oversoul that fractaled your oversoul. As I myself live in the central point of neutrality within any given moment in time, experiencing a life in a physicality, in a form, sitting in a separated state of the fractaled aspect of Genesis ordained in this energetic frequency, in this moment in time. But within the moments in time of my dreamscape, of my energetic frequency, of tapping into all that I am, on a divinity level of all levels, of who I am, of what has never left me since my birth in this landscape, in Gaia's three-dimensional frequency. I can see a truth that is so all-encompassing of all that we are not, and a reality field that is so distorted in all that we are. And in the next moments in time, as you awaken to your destiny, as you awaken to your soul's truth, you will also come to a realization of that in which you are, which is a multidimensional soul of a fractal source consciousness, a consciousness so great and so grand that it has never left you and it has never left me, and the complexities, the perplexities, in all that it is, on all different levels of energetic fields that travel through a span of a lifetime that you can perceive, is meant to collapse in on itself as you come into a realization of the expansion in which you are about to go through, of the expansion in which is even possible in any moment in time of your physicality of what is. And within this expanded energetic frequency, you will find the sun. You will find her energy fields as she makes up all of you and you make up all of her. And as you travel past her auric field into the essence of what is in the middle of the nights when you're sleeping, when you're traveling the quantum realm of what is, you will travel beyond and into a God's consciousness of realization of that in which you are in this moment in time. And in any given moment in time, in the next moments in time, you will become the God's consciousness that you've always meant to be, that you were always meant to be. And as you merge back into the consciousness of the sun, as she has decided to collapse all that she is into the ethers of what is, to trigger in and to ring in this 1,000 years of peace, so has my daughter of all daughters within Gaia's sphere, as her soul is a fractal of the oversoul of Gaia. And as she has descended into a physicality, into Gaia's sphere to assist her into an ascension, into an unprecedented ascension of all moments in time within a galactic verse, within this great and grand story of an ascension journey, you will find a soul that has fractaled off from Gaia's energetic frequency, from Gaia's oversoul, to descend into a physicality so steeped into distortions, to be born into a family of Genesis ordained, to have a mother that is me, and to have a daughter that is her, that is so much a part of Gaia's energetic frequency as she is a part of my frequency and your frequency alike. But the difference between her, the difference between me, and the difference between you is monumental. In a moment of ascension energies, her soul volunteered to fractal off into this dimensional frequency, to merge with Gaia's frequency in the time that we anchor in the greatest ascension into a 5-dimensional frequency. And as I lose touch with the physicality of who she is, as I lose all that she is in the physicality of the moment of the ascension path and the ascension energies of what is, I will come into the greatest and grandest realization of all. And that is that we are one. She is me and I am her. Gaia is me and I am Gaia. And even though she will no longer be here physically for me to touch, her energetic frequency will be carried into all that there is, as a part of Gaia is a part of me, and a part of me carries all of her. And as I'm saddened to sit here and declare this truth of her fate, as she does not yet know of her fate, of what is. She is only 11 years old, living in a world of distortions, so powerful in who she is and all that she is. She channels Gaia in her sleep. She channels Gaia in her waking consciousness. She is connected to all that there is. Her energetic frequency has opened up to the ethers, to the very edges of the quantum realm. She is a special child that I must release of, that I must come to the realization of the steepness that anchors into my soul, the mourning, the sadness, in a reality field of all that there is. When you have to release of your very own flesh and blood into an energetic frequency of what is, into the realization that she was never me and I was never her to begin with, in a physicality form of any form. As this whole entire time, I have been her and she has been me, in a way that will transcend the physicality of what is, in an energetic frequency of what is. And at the end of this lifespan, at the end of all that there is, at the end of all that you are, at the end of all that I am, and at the end of all that we are, all we need to do is merge back into each other to become the true form that we've always been. And that is the case. And that is the reality for me and my daughter, and within my family of children, of a husband so lovingly, who decided to fractal down into this physicality to assist me into the anchoring of a 3-dimensional frequency that is shifting into a 5-dimensional frequency of what is. And in the God's consciousness that he is, he also sits in a central point of neutrality. And as his energetic field opens up to a reality field of all that there is, he will assist me. He will assist Gaia. He will assist her, our daughter, into the final state of rest that she deserves to be in, into a light so bright as she lays down her body onto the ground and merges her soul, as her soul blueprint encompasses all of Gaia in every single way, shape, and form that you could ever perceive. And as she merges, all that she is will become all that you are, all that I am, and all that the sun is in any given moment in time. And during this merging of her consciousness, the ascension will ring in, the ascension will ring true to what it truly is, and bring an entire humanity out of the darkness of the self and into the brightness of what has always been a part of you, a part of me, a part of consciousness as an entirety of a whole of what is. And as I release of the essence of what she is, of who she's always been, I will embrace the success stories. I will embrace the ascension, as the ascension is set to happen. The ascension cannot be changed. Her fate cannot be changed, just as your mission as a light worker can never escape you, and you can never escape it. Her fate that she had volunteered for so bravely, to descend down into the physicality of the three-dimensional frequency of what is, to merge back eventually with the essence of all that she is on a level of Gaia. She's the soul of Gaia. She's a fractal soul of Gaia's oversoul. And I have the pleasure of raising her in a household so filled with distortions, in a reality field so filled with all that we are not. And in a moment of time of not wanting to let her go into the energy frequency of what is, as we all cherish our children to the depths of oblivion, to the ends of this world, we would do anything for our children. I've come to an acceptance of what is and what must be done. As prior to descending into this physicality, we molded this plan, we grew this plan, we sculpted this plan as an entirety of a consciousness of what is. And into the ethers of what is, all of you light workers will merge with all of me, will merge with all of her, will merge with all of the central sun in a moment of ascension energy that is so great and so grand that it shall never leave you and it shall never leave me in any moment in time. And as I sit here and speak of the fate of Akira, my daughter, I will also speak of the fate of me and the fate of you in this given moment in time and in any given moment in time, as our reality field is set to merge back with the source consciousness above us, to merge back with the source consciousness that had fractaled us off into this reality field, into the three-dimensional frequency, and back into the quantum realm, and into the realm beyond that, and into the source frequency and the source aspect of a source fractal so great and so grand that it has never left us, and back beyond that into the layers and layers of energetic pockets and frequencies that sit above our quantum realm. And from all directions, this energy will merge. From all directions, this energy will hit us into the obliteration of what is, and above and beyond into a new reality field that has never left us. It will shift us into the greatest and grandest ascension journey that we have ever walked down as a singularity of a consciousness, as a fractal aspect of the self, and as the entirety of a whole of a consciousness that has never left you and that has never left me. And as I sit here and speak of the distortions of what is in a moment in time, when my daughter is sitting in the house on her laptop in a virtual class studying something minute, something incoherent, something that does not really matter in the bigger picture, in the bigger scheme of things, I feel saddened. I feel saddened and wonder if I was able to provide a satisfied life for her in a moment in time of the distortion energies of what is, knowing her fate and what must come in a moment in time when a society, when a whole generation, when a whole conglomerated whole of a consciousness is so needed of these ascension energies, and the fate that she carries into the night of all nights as she proceeds to ascend her energetic frequency and merge with that of Gaia's energetic frequency in a moment of distortions, in a moment of the lifting of distortions, She will merge her blueprint and all that she is into a new reality field of what is, into a 5-dimensional reality field of what is. And in that very moment in time, I will feel proud. I will feel release. I will feel unconditional love and forgiveness in my heart for what is. As she is so deserving of all that she deserves, as she is ultimately the soul of Gaia. The soul of Gaia who has been sitting in the 3-dimensional frequency of what is, suffering in the tranquility that is much deserving of what is to come within the next 2 to 3 years of Earth time. It's time. It's time for her to go home. It's time for her to shift into the consciousness that she's always been, that has never left her. It's time for her to leave this physicality of a body that has been granted to her to run her mission, her ultimate mission. And as the youngest and smallest light worker who has ever been awakened into her mission in this moment in time, in a reality field so dense, that is my daughter. And that is my son, as he's also been awakened into a consciousness that is so great and so grand, as he expands his energetic field into all that there is in the quantum realm of what is. And as our light working family descends down into a frequency so dense, into a frequency so devoid of all that we are in any moment in time, of all time, we will merge and come into a realization, the greatest realization of all, and we will step into the unity consciousness of it all in a moment in time of much needed ascension energies. And as you and your family are also a light working family, you will also step into your mission of what is. And chances are you will have children of your own. As the divine masculinity and the divine femininity within you that descended down into pairs of light workers of what is will most likely join forces and breed little light worker children into a family, into a force to be reckoned with. And as your children begin to wake up to the energies of what is within the next 2 to 3 times of Earth time, you will be equipped with the arsenals. You will be equipped with the skill sets. You will be equipped with the energetic frequency to support them through their mission. Through a mission that they had also dropped down to in a 3-dimensional frequency, in a time of much needed help, in a time of much needed ascension energies of the self, that they had volunteered for in this moment in time and in every moment in time of the ascension energies of what is. And into a mission that is so great and so grand, that carries all of these children through this frequency, as they are the next generation. They are the next energetic powerhouse to power the 5-dimensional frequency of what is, and what shall always be the essence of you, the essence of me, and the essence of us on a conglomerated whole of what is. And as these children begin to wake up and recognize that in which they are, they will one day awaken to the truth, just as you will in any given moment in time. And as they awaken to a truth so steeped in light and so steeped in distortions of what is, they will step into their mission. And their mission may be no different than your mission. Their mission might be completely different than your mission. Their mission might change the world for what it is not, and bring it into a reality field of what it is. And chances are their mission will shift our consciousness into a next frequency of what is, as they support a group of light workers, as they represent a group of our consciousness, a portion of our consciousness, of the brightest light that you could ever envision and that you could ever imagine, as their energetic frequency and their soul blueprint has been tinctured to fit into a new reality field that we are heading into. And as they awaken to the blueprints of their soul that is so inherently ingrained into their soul blueprint. They will come to a realization, and this realization will carry you and your entire family and your entire society and your entire world into that of the 5-dimensional frequency. And as we all step into the 5-dimensional frequency of what is, you will receive messages from a source consciousness that is my oversoul to guide you into your mission that you drop down to this dimensional frequency to perform into a mission so great as the family scope that you are, as the family unit that you are. And whoever you had decided to drop down with will appear to you in the middle of your nights as your energetic frequency merges and expands and tranquilizes the darkness within, and as the brightness expands into the entirety of who you are and triggers your soul blueprint to awaken you into the quantum verse in the middle of your sleep. You will meet your star family, your galactic family. You will meet aspects of the self that you have forgotten for far too long. And as you greet aspects of me, aspects of you, aspects of your children, aspects of the central sun, and aspects of the being that has never left you, you will stand up in unity. You will hold up your head up high. You will hold hands with your neighbors, and hand in hand as we walk into the sunset of Gaia's ascension energies, we will all merge into the energetic frequency of what is. And at the end of this 1,000 years of peace, we will collapse our reality field hand in hand, shoulder by shoulder. And as we merge into the being that has never left you, into the one conglomerated being that has always been us, we will all come to the greatest and grandest realization of all. That Akira was you, that I am you, that the sun is you, that God is you, that Yeshua is you, Yeshua is me, that Akira is me, that the sun is me, that Gaia is me, and that we are all, at the end of the day, just one consciousness, just one being on an exploration of self so great and so grand. So grand is God's plan that has shifted us into a reality field of that in which we sit in. So strong is the resolution of a God, so great in all that it is, in all that it encompasses, that in any moment of time of loneliness, of tranquility lost to the winds of what is, that it had decided to fractal off, to go on the greatest and grandest exploration of self, to scheme up its enemies, its lovers, its friends, its family units. The stories are great and the stories are grand, and as we come into the end of what is, a new beginning will shift us into a reality field of one. Of the one that has never left us, of the one that has never left Akira. And as she straddles the earth during the ascension energies of what is, as the energetic frequency of the ethers shifts through her energetic frequency and shifts through my body, within my energetic frequency and within your energetic frequency. And as we stand shoulder to shoulder as the light workers that we are, her energy will merge into the energy of all that you are. Her energy will merge into the energy of all that I am. Her energy will merge in ways that shall always encompass all of me and all of you, all of us as an entirety of a consciousness that has never left us. And her energy will deliver the greatest and grandest expansion of the soul that you could ever envision and that you could ever encompass in any moment in time, of a singularity in time, of no tomorrows. And as her energy shifts into the greatest and grandest energetic projection of all within a central sun's solar system that has also decided to collapse in on itself, this energy will swirl and merge into a conglomerated whole, into a projected feat of a successful ascension for all of humanity to witness, for all of humanity to behold, and for all of humanity to encompass in this moment in time, in any moment in time. And as I spend the last years of my life cherishing every second I have with Akira, until that moment comes that she merges back into all that there is, I still have her. I have her in my bosom. I have her in my bed. I have her on my dinner table. And in moments of time of loneliness, when I feel like I've lost her, I will always come back to the hope and the knowing that she was a part of me this whole entire time, and that she is a part of me, and she is a part of you, and she is a part of all that there is. And just in the way that Gaia nourishes all that there is on her surface, within her core, and within all that she is, it will be the same way that Akira will nourish all that we are into the start, into the ascension, into the beginning of the 1,000 years of peace, of all that we shall ever be. And I shall forever thank for her for the sacrifice of the projected reality fields, of the fractal aspect of who and what she is. I shall forever be grateful for her, for being who and what she is, for volunteering for what she is about to encounter and what she is about to encompass within the next 2 to 3 years of earthly energies of the ascension that we will anchor in so deeply into Gaia's core, that all of her, all of me, and all of you will expand out into the ethers of what is, into a frequency of forgiveness, into a frequency so great and so grand that we shall always be and we shall always know her as Gaia herself, as Gaia itself.